Can you already?
We can see you. We can see your slides. Please go. Yeah, okay, good, great. Please go ahead.
Thanks a lot. I'm Valerian Johadze, and I will today present a joint work paper with Professor Omar Kurtukhia. So this paper is about AI model risk for financial institutions, the challenges, opportunities, and we will discuss where financial institutions stand with development of AI model risk management, and what we can, which kind of trends we will see in next years. I'm a PhD student from Tbilisi State University, and also I have over decades of experience as a financial risk manager at big financial institutions in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So I can also present some up-to-date observations that we can observe in systemically important banks, what they are doing, where they stand. Agenda for today, we will just provide short introductions, and we will discuss challenges of most important challenges of AI model risk management. Then I will show you a short example how important is the AI model risk, and then we will summarize few best risk management guiding principles that will be usable for middle and large scale financial institutions in general. So let's start. As we also know, recent years, machine learning, artificial intelligence increased significantly. So the research in this direction is ongoing like crazy, and a lot of companies are also starting to adapt these models. And banks are also one of these industries that is actively implementing a lot of AI applications in different departments, like in portfolio optimization, in trading, in risk management. We see that banks starting 2015-16, they already started using machine learning for robo-advisory projects, for portfolio optimizations. And this process is going, and this is getting even more and more important. Recent survey shows that only in US in 2023 there will be something like 400 billion USD saving due to this modern AI application. So banks have significant incentives to reduce their cost and to use as many AI models as possible. And AI models are also using heavily in financial risk measurement and in financial risk management topics. So the models are getting more and more complex, and we can see that there is a huge risk of model misuse and misspecification. Just to forget about AI models, such comprehensive and complex models, and just to understand a little bit what is a model risk for financial risk measurement, we can consider two historical examples. One was China Aviation Oil that lost over 500 million in 2004. Just because of they used inadequate modeling approach for options. They only considered interesting value of options and completely ignored time value of options. This led to 550 million losses. Few years after this event, in 2012, there was a huge event that JP Morgan one of the global systemically important bank lost more than 6 billion USD after they have implemented wrong value at risk measurement approach. And we are talking about huge losses due to these models that are somewhat easier to implement, like value at risk model, like options pricing models. And still huge companies like JP Morgan and China Aviation Oil have significant problems to manage these risks, and they faced huge losses. So following all these challenges and recent AI developments, a lot of banking supervisory bodies like Basel Committee of Banking Supervision, European Central Bank, Federal Reserves, they are explicitly requiring active management of model risk and especially active management of AI models. But banks, based on recent survey in Europe and also in US, they are standing far behind of these model governments, and there is a significant risk that they will face some kind of losses or some kind of unexpected supervisory actions due to this lack of proper documentation, proper maintenance, proper management of models. Just very shortly to highlight what is the most important challenges that banks today face. We have identified 4 different dimensions, and they are all of these dimensions are very, very important and very crucial for banks. So usually models that AI models that banks are using for portfolio optimization, robo-advisory, or risk management, they require a lot of historical data. And sometimes, especially if bank is trading with exotic products or investing in less liquid markets or less liquid products, then there is a problem of data availability and quality of the data that they are using. Due to the fact that most AI models are super data hungry, this leads to a problem, and then there will be poor performance of model and then wrong decision makings after this process. Second big problem is that most AI models cannot be validated completely and cannot be fully understood in a way that they represent so-called black box algorithm. This means that it does not matter how much effort risk manager or auditor put, it is impossible to follow each step of this model, and there will be still some degree of uncertainty how a particular decision or investment advice will be derived. Lack of skilled professionals. This might seem counterintuitive, but in Europe and also in USA, still there is a huge gap of demand and supply of finance professionals who are both skilled in AI model development, management, and also have enough skills for this for business side, right? Also important is to understand business and to understand the banking system. And last but not least, usually banks have problems with model validation, especially so-called tier 2 banks that are still huge, but they are not systemically important banks. And we see that this kind of problem exists also for standard models like value at risk calculation, like estimation of regulatory capital. And this problem is even more prominent for AI models simply because model complexity is increasing. These are the four main areas where bank has to put a lot of effort to optimize. And just to provide you very simple example how important is model risk in bank, I provide a very short simulation-based example. So just imagine that we have risky portfolio S, and bank is using some kind of AI-based model for risk management, and the goal is to calculate value at risk and expected shortfall risk measures for our portfolio S. If we assume that AI model is using historical data and assumes kind of log normal distribution of returns of our portfolio, then these two formulas represent how we have to calculate the value at risk and expected shortfall. And we see that for different confidence levels, we have different risk figures, and they seems quite reasonable at the first glance. But let's assume that we have a true underlying distribution of portfolio S, and this is an IG distribution, which in addition of mean and variance have also asymmetry and skew and kurtosis. And here are these true risks or risk distributions for our portfolio, and we see that our previous estimations are prone to model risk. For example, previously we said that value at risk at 95% could be 32.5, right? And upper left figure provides these true value at risk distributions that can be anything between 30 and 60. So this is quite significant if we consider that probability of error is very high. So last, I would like to summarize, based on the literature and based on also our experience, some basic principles for AI model risk management. And these principles are no-brainers, but implementation of them will lead to significant improve of prudency of overall risk management, and especially for AI models. First, it's important to have comprehensive model validation and to have a body who is responsible for each model validation. Right now, it's often the case that every department has his own model, like trading has his own trading models, risk management department has a lot of models that is focusing on risk, and so on and so forth. And then the question is, who is the body who is doing model validation? So to our experience, there should be an overarching function, model validation function, that will do this model validation for all and every department. And this is very important because otherwise there will be always inconsistency, and there will be always risk of misusing some models, misusing parameters whatsoever. Transparent documentation, this is also self-explanatory. Every model should be able to be audited by third party if there is a necessity. So there should be very comprehensive documentation. Robust data governance, input data of all AI models, that's a key. So basically, there should be additional function at a bank who is solely dedicated for data and saving of data, updated data, monitoring quality checks, whatsoever. Every model needs to be continuously monitoring because there is always black box element, and there is always probabilities that the model will provide outcomes that is that simply does not make sense. And for these reasons, there should be continuous monitoring, and risk manager or trader should always have a voice to raise hands and just to adjust model outcomes in case there is necessity. All models should be at some degree explainable and interpretable. So I'm not talking about to understand every steps of black box algorithm, but just to make sure that goal of model is set and the architecture of model is explainable. Scenario analysis, ongoing stress testing of the model, that's crucial, not only for AI models, but also for standard models. Since global financial crisis, since 2008, every bank are doing stress testing and scenario testing for their value at risk models. And the same approach should be implemented also for AI models. Regular model updating, there should be some kind of model life cycle, which obviously sets this time frame of model updates and so on and so forth. And finally, the model risk management function, this governor bodies, it should be independent to a particular department. So it should not be under the risk department or under trading department. So it should be kind of a separate unit who is directly responsible to who is responsible for model risk and who is directly reporting to chief risk officer. So that's pretty much it about our presentation. Thanks a lot for your attention, and happy to answer your questions.
Okay, great, Valerian, for your presentation. Thanks again. We have a couple of minutes for a question. Colleagues, please. Okay, Valerian, I have some kind of very not so big question for you, but could you give me? I'm happy to know about that. So many banks are trying to use AI model for risk management. Could you give me some kind of example of financial task is being solved by the AI application? Some simple example.
Yes, there are a lot of usage of AI models, and early examples. This is and classical examples. This is about robo-advisory. So portfolio selection for client based on their needs, and these projects, very first projects, started in Europe at least 2014, 15, 16. A lot of globally systemically important banks introduced machine learning intensively to do these robo-advisory projects. And right now, they are taking step ahead, and they would like to really introduce fully AI-based model. So just to make even more usage of in this area. This is the first big usage, and in risk management, machine learning is also known tool, and a lot of companies are already starting to develop models based on AI to also calibrate better models, to have better market risk assessment, especially for market risks. And that's ongoing process, and we will expect that in next few years there will be a big transformation.
Okay, and thanks. And when my next, maybe it's like comments, I'm surprised to know that many departments in your bank, for example, they use some kind of unique model for unique model. So it means, for me, it sounds like, okay, we have like 10 departments, we have, let's say, 10 AI model, which we are going to use for our specific task. Is it expensive to use some kind of huge amount of AI-based portfolio models? Because you need to, maybe it's just, why not to use just one model or like limited amount of models? Because again, it's about money. But why each department has its unique AI-based model? What is the uniqueness about? Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes, of course. This is very good question. Thank you for that. Historically, even before AI models, each department used to do their own model. For example, traders, they are calibrated their models just for trading purposes. And risk department is calculating similar things about the portfolio, but they have their own model. So this is basically historically due to the fact that front office cannot be also body who is doing risk management, right? There is a first line of defense, second line of defense, third line of defense. So there is no way that there will be just one model that will be used for every department, even if the model is model has the same purpose, let's say calculating value at risk. But to come back to your original question, if this is expensive to switch to AI, not really, because robo-advisory, for example, is a huge efficiency gain product that bank has. Simply, you don't need a lot of expensive resources like portfolio managers for your small clients. And instead of that, you are just providing this digital solution, robo-advisory solution. This is very efficient, and banks are gaining a lot of money with it.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for your presentation again, Valerian. If we don't have any other questions, comments, colleagues? Okay, thanks again, and
Thank you very much.
Let me invite the last speakers with the last but definitely not least presentation. Danderas Antonios and Jose Alberto de Jesus Borges and Nicolas Ducas, machine learning application for networks intrusion detection systems. Are you ready? I guess we don't have the presenter for the last session, last presentation, do we? Okay, so it means no speakers, no presentation. Okay, dear colleagues, I guess we finished our session. We listened to all the presentation. Let me say thanks for all of you, for presenters, for participants, thanks for your questions. It's really hot topics, and definitely it's like many tasks to be done still ahead, right? AI for security. It's a very promising exercise for all of us. Thanks again for all of you. Oleg, will you add something? We finalize in session. Will you comment something? Will you provide some comments? Okay. Okay, if no question, no comments, let us end to our session. Thanks for all of you for your participation. Have a nice day.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye. Amari, you have some comments?
No. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.